the home of champions.
For the 63rd time in their illustrious history, the Yankees honor their grand past. 39 American League championships and 26 World Championships. And for one day in the Bronx, old men are young again, revisiting their youth, trying to put one more swing on one more fastball, trying to throw one more pitch to another catcher who a long time ago wore championship rings. Heroes of the past become men of the present, revisiting their youth, snapshots of our mind scrapbook. The great Yankees becoming great for one more day. It all goes by so quickly. Boy, it seemed like just yesterday. On a beautiful day in the Bronx when they honored the past, we play a baseball game in the future, as today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Detroit Tigers in the final game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Ken Singleton and Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees have had their great moments of the past. Now, the recent past, the Yankees have actually taken the first 2 games of the second half of the season, and they took those first 2 games from the Detroit Tigers. So today, they will go for the sweep. They'd like a hot bat to continue from Alex Rodriguez. He helped yesterday. He's been helping a lot of late.
Well, before the All-Star break, he was swinging the bat well on the West Coast against the Angels. We'll take a look at that series of what A-Rod did in Anaheim against the Angels. He's always hit well against the Angels. 65 career home runs against Anaheim and 3 in the latest series just before the All-Star break. I mean, to all parts of the ballpark, this guy has some tremendous power. You saw one to left, one to center, and one to right. And then yesterday, one in the 7th inning. Right man, right time. Not the longest home run he's ever hit, but it came right at the right time for the Yankees. It gave them a 1-0 lead, and Justin Verlander, he couldn't believe he gave up a home run on that particular pitch.
Hot rod indeed since June 25th. That's 18 games. A-Rod's hitting .338, 9 home runs, 21 ribbies, and yesterday it is 571st career home run. So the Yankees won Friday night, and they won yesterday. They've won close games from the first-place Tigers. Now, they'd like to get a sweep. Of course, you take the first 2, you get greedy. Now they turn to Jabba Chamberlain. And Al, Jabba obviously has the skills, but in his last start against the Angels, last couple of starts, he has not been great.
You're right, and I think it's been that kind of year. And for the Yankees' sake in the second half, they did get 2 good starts, a very good start from CC Sabathia. In that start in Anaheim, it's really about him getting ahead and finish off hitters. And for Joe Girardi and the Yankees, he hasn't done that consistently enough. His pitch count per inning has been high, and as a result, he hasn't been able to go deep enough into the game, taxing the bullpen. This is a game for him he had 9 days rest for the All-Star break. He's got to get the breaking ball down, as he did not there do in Anaheim. If he does that, he's aggressive in the zone, gets early outs, it's going to be a good ball game.
All right, let's take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. We know about Jabba. Al told you about him, 4-2, 4.25. One of the surprises of the first half of the season, former Ray, Edwin Jackson, 7-4 with a 2.52 ERA. Can the Yankees sweep the Tigers? Can they have the first weekend of the second half of the season be all positive? When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball on Yes. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. You can see the Yankees have taken the field on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in New York City. And those are the words. Let's look at the specifics. Game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. A perfect 80 degrees, humidity 34%, wind just 9 miles per hour. And it is a beautiful day for baseball. Some puffy cumulus clouds overhead here in the Bronx. Just a gorgeous shot of what it looks like over this brand new stadium on 161st Street and River Avenue. Well, the Yankees have taken the field as we noted and as we saw, and Jabba Chamberlain about to take his warm-ups, and we'll take a look now at the BMW lineup of the Detroit Tigers. Curtis Granderson in center field is going to lead off, batting second, and playing second, Placido Polanco. Miguel Cabrera, the first baseman, hits third. Marcus Thames will DH. He's going to clean up. Batting fifth and playing right field, Clete Thomas. Brandon Inge at third base will bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing left field, Josh Anderson. Gerald Laird is going to catch. He's going to bat eighth and batting ninth. And playing shortstop for the Tigers, it's Ramon Santiago.
23-year-old Jabba Chamberlain making his 18th start this year. The 4-2 record. A lot of no decisions. Too many hits per innings. See the walks up 42 for 89 innings. It's not very good. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scatterboard. Streamlined. He's third most average pitches per inning. He's 17.5 behind Brad Penny and Gil Mesh. Needs to throw strikes and get ahead. Get on a roll in 18 of his starts. 8 of them he didn't get into the 6th inning, and he's winless here at the stadium in 9 starts. And hold him. He's second most in the American League of stolen bases. First is Jeff Neiman of Tampa Bay.
Let's take a look at the Yankee defense behind Jabba Chamberlain. The outfield a little bit different as Johnny Damon's getting the day off. In the outfield, you've got Melky Cabrera in left, Brett Gardner in center, and Nick Swisher over in right. In the infield, it's Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, and Mark Teixeira. That's third to first. Posada is behind the plate, and as Al mentioned, fairly easy this year to run on Chamberlain. 16 stolen bases against the hard-throwing right-hander. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Big crowd here at the ballpark. Big crowd yesterday and Friday as well as the Yankees take the first 2 games of this 3-game set against the Tigers. Curtis Granderson, an all-star this year, hitting .254, 19 homers, and 44 runs batted in. Obviously, you'd like to keep him off the bases. Tigers coming at 48 and 41. The Yankees are 53 and 37. Chamberlain's ready. Granderson's ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx as Chamberlain deals, pitches inside, and we are underway. So he threw a fastball to start off the Tigers center fielder. Granderson 0 for 6 so far in this series. And that one is grounded to Teixeira. He'll take it himself, and there's one away. Let's check out the umpiring crew. They do make a difference. Jeff Nelson played in the Old Timers Day. Now he's going to umpire behind home plate. Mark Carlson is at first. Tim Cheetah is at second. And Bob Davidson is over at third.
One of the best games that Jabba had this year was it started Comerica Park against the Tigers back on April 29th. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The Yankees won the game, and that was Jabba's first win of the year. So he has a history against the Tigers.
There's a strike to Polanco.
Yeah, I think early on watching Jabba's velocity, he's been in that low 90 range since starting, and I think really that's been somewhat of the issue for him to figure out a way to conserve energy, get outs, and still trust your fastball. Having a 17.5 pitch per inning is not good and doesn't help you to go deeper in the game.
You know, one thing I noticed right away, he's working a lot more quickly in this particular game. At least here in the first inning he is. You know, no messing around, attacking the hitters. You know, trying to, I think a lot of his problems become mechanical because it's hard for him to repeat his delivery time and time again. Not everybody can be a Mariano Rivera, but you got to find that arm slot and trying to conserve your pitches.
Now, one of the reasons, and it sounds a little strange that he has a high pitch count, is when he gets 2 strikes on a batter, his stuff is so good they can't put the ball into play, so they foul off a lot of pitches, and that gives you maybe 20 extra pitches that other pitchers might not have. The 1-2, missed outside. I mean, I don't know if there's anything you could do about that if your stuff is too good and they foul it off.
Well, I could relate to that. I threw a cutter and I got a lot of foul balls. Especially a guy like Polanco in protect mode. There's several hitters in this lineup that have shown good two-strike approaches.
Well, Polanco's one of the toughest hitters in the league to strike out, so maybe he's not a fair choice to be the type to put away right away. He strikes out about once every 14 trips to the plate. And that makes him one of the more difficult hitters in the league to actually punch out. You see, he chokes up on the bat. You see him cut down on his swing with 2 strikes, and he's the type of hitter that could be tough for Jabba, actually put away. You want him to put the ball in play. You don't look for him to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
The 2-2 inside. By the way, Jeff Nelson is not the same Jeff Nelson I played in the old-timer.
Oh.
No, he's not. No, he's not, Kenny. I thought I'd tell you that.
Oh, okay.
They have the same name, though. Different body. Different face, same name. And the 3-2. And Polanco works along.
Well, yesterday's ball game, CC Sabathia got off to somewhat of a slow start, but he was able to pick up double play balls in 2 consecutive innings to get him out of trouble, and then it kicked in for CC for the remainder of the game.
Through the first 2 innings, 52 pitches, and he really settled down. Ended up with 114 through 7.
Foul boy.
There's something to be said for that. You have the All-Star break, and much deserved, timed for some guys, and I think also part of that routine when you go away for those 3 or 4 days, you have to figure out a time and place to play catch and make sure that you stay in some kind of rhythm. Jabba hasn't thrown in 9 days, and usually there's a first inning or 2 just getting back in the groove.
Upstairs.
We saw it with AJ on Friday night, and as you mentioned, Kenny, Saturday was similar.
Well, when they left on Sunday from Anaheim, Joe Girardi said, I want you to do something athletic during the break, but relax. He said, I don't want to do skydiving, anything where you can get hurt, but do something athletic at least one of the days. That's a broken bat looper into center field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. Gardner will get the ball into Jeter. So with that single, Cabrera now with a 15-game hitting streak.
Yeah, 15-game hitting streak overall, but also in every game that he's played against the Yankees, he's had at least 1 hit. That's 15 games as well. Jabba got it in on him. You can see just where the bat changes colors there. That's not really the prime time part of the bat, and that's why you got a jam shot. But Cabrera's big and strong, about 230, 35 pounds. It just didn't even sound good, but it's still a base hit. He'll take it.
Cabrera is definitely one of the top young hitters in the game, and has done it with the Marlins, and really has carried the offense up to this point. The Tigers were always a team that would bang out a lot of runs, and this year it just hasn't been.
There's Marcus Timms. He has a 5-game hitting streak. He has 10 hits and 20 at-bats.
Yesterday he provided the only Tigers run with a home run. Came in the 8th inning.
The 1-0. Chases a high fastball.
Let's take a look. This came off of Alfredo Aceves, and you can see a little spinner there in the middle of the plate. And Marcus Timms, as Michael said, has been very hot of late. He's got 5 home runs this month. That leads to the Tiger Ball Club.
Well, Timms has never really been given a chance to get the 500+ at bats, and they felt if he could get it, he'd be a 30+ home run guy. The impetus behind one of the reasons why they released Gary Sheffield.
High pop up. Left field. Melky Cabrera fighting the sun, called off by Gardner, and Gardner makes a catch. For the second half. Different angle on the sun from center field than it is from left.
And as Melky was coming on there, and you can see that they working as a team out there in the outfield, and you have to on a day like today, as sunny as it is. Melky's fighting it all the way, and Gardner calls him off. And you can see when Melky was slowing down, he would have had to scramble to make the catch on this particular play as the ball drifts over towards Gardner, who makes the play easily. But the left fielder, what Yogi used to say, he gets early. Gets late early out there in left field. And I played out there in left field. It was no fun on the sunny days.
Pitch to Clete Thomas. There's a strike.
I was thinking, why am I over here? I should be in right.
And the new Yankee Stadium pointed geographically the same way as the old one, so the sun still comes over the first base grandstand at the same angle. The 0-1 upstairs.
Job is having trouble getting ahead on counts here.
Well, he's averaged 17.5. He's up to 19 pitches now. First inning's been a bugaboo for him.
The 1-1 upstairs. 2-1. 20 pitches already for Jabba. And again, as we mentioned, you can overcome that with a couple of quick innings. Sabathia didn't seem as if he was long for the game yesterday. 52 pitches in 2 innings, but settled down. The 2-1. 2-2.
Clete Thomas, the batter at the plate, has settled into a platoon situation with Maglio Ordonez in right field. Ordonez played yesterday against Sabathia. The fans trying to encourage Jabba here.
Well, we saw the man Ron Guidry, who actually started the rhythmic 2-strike clapping. That was on that 78 day against the California Angels back then, when he struck out 18. And as the strikeout total built, so did the claps at 2 strikes. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
Well, Guidry more often than not was in a rewarding mode that day. Once they started clapping with 2 strikes, those Angel hitters were, flapping their wings back to the bench.
Runners will go. 3-2, 2 outs. Top of the first inning, just underway here at the stadium. Swung on and missed. Got him on a breaking ball, diving down and in. So Jabba threw 23 pitches, but he does not allow a run in the first. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. It's the Tigers nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat against Edwin Jackson. Well, the Tigers don't score against Jabba Chamberlain the top of the first. Now it's the Yankees' chance as Edwin Jackson will take his warm-ups. And this is the Yankees starting lineup presented by BMW. And it's put together by Joe Girardi. The Yankee captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Look what he's done the last 10 games. Pretty impressive. Brett Gardner in center field will bat second. Batting third, playing first base, Mark Teixeira. Cleaning up, third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Hideki Matsui, the DH, will bat fifth. Also red hot in the month of July. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Robinson Cano at second. Nick Swisher's in right. Melky Cabrera batting ninth, and he'll play left.
And 25-year-old Edwin Jackson, the year that he's having for the Tigers. First year, he was at Tampa Bay last year, 7-4, just coming off an all-star appearance. Great numbers. Opponent's batting average against 212. Let's take a look at the pitcher scout report. Pair of aces. We saw Justin Verlander last night. 1-2 punch as good as anybody in the American League. Quality. 14 of his 18 starts have been quality starts. And a little help from your friends. Of those quality starts, 7 of them, he's got a no decision and a loss. The bullpen has got an ERA in his starts of 6.43. The highest of any Tiger starter.
19 of 20 games, Derek Jeter sits safely in, hitting .325. Had a base hit in the first inning against Verlander yesterday.
You were talking about the. Oh, look at this.
Well, if you don't have that, that's where you're watching right now.
You were talking about how the bullpen hasn't supported Jackson in his starts, and you can go back to his start on April 28th in Detroit against the Yankees. He got a no decision. He gave up no runs in 6 innings, only 4 hits, and the bullpen came on and gave up 11 runs.
Popped up right field. Cleet Thomas. 1 away.
And the Yankees won the game 11-0. In a game in which he went 6 shutout innings.
Wins and losses, it's out of your hand as a pitcher. Well, look what CC did yesterday. He gutted it out, was able to get to that 7th inning. He had 104 pitches going into the 7th. Yankees come back, they get the big home run, he's got to win.
You know, Jackson is probably part of the best deal over the winter, coming over from the Rays, a team in which he won 14 games last year. Was 14-11 on the American League Championship team, and they ship it to Detroit. And now he's pitched well here. The Tigers sent young outfielder Matt Joyce to the Rays, and Joyce has had injury problems all season long.
Slap toward short. Santiago just got the hustling Gardner for the 2nd out. Let's take a look at the entire Tiger defensive schematic as put together by Jim Leland. In the outfield, you've got Josh Anderson in left, Curtis Granderson in center, Cleet Thomas over in right. Infield in Santiago, Polanco, and Cabrera third to first. Laird, who throws out about 44% of base stealers, which is best in the American League, he's behind the plate. And Edwin Jackson is on the mound. There's Mark Teixeira. Pitch outside. Obviously, you really can't tell about a deal for a couple of years, but right now it looks like a steal for the Tigers getting Edwin Jackson. And although Jackson won 14 games last year for the Rays, everybody felt that with his stuff he should be better. They expect him to be great right away. Came over from the Dodgers and always threw hard, but was never able to harness it. And looks like he has now. An American League All-Star, pitched a scoreless inning in the All-Star game. And it looks like he's going to pitch a scoreless first here against the Yankees. That one's popped up to shallow left. And it's going to drop. Anderson loses it in the sun. So it's a double for Teixeira. I spoke too soon. The sun took over. Anderson could not see the ball, and he has sunglasses on as well.
Well, Melky Cabrera had Brett Gardner bail him out, but center fielder Curtis Granderson is much too far away to help Anderson out. Anderson, well, I've had that happen to me. Your eyes start to water. You can't see. It's like some, you know, when you, middle of the night, when you go to get something from the refrigerator and you're sleepy and you open the door, you know how bright that refrigerator light is in a darkened room? It's the same sort of thing.
Nobody, after Anderson looked over, obviously it was a no man's land. And at that point, he's just hoping it doesn't hit him in the head.
You know, you're going for that last piece of pie that you notice in the refrigerator?
Pizza.
Oh, yeah, pizza in your case, Al?
Pizza pie.
Yeah.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. Had a home run in yesterday's game. And the pitch is upstairs, 1-0. Now has 571 in his career. Look at his average against the Tigers. 340, 31 homers, 104 ribbies. That's in 109 games.
So, Michael, you've never gone to the refrigerator in the middle of the night?
I have, yes.
And you know how bright that light is?
It gets very bright.
That's why I keep my sunglasses right next to the bed when I get up, put them on.
I wear that hat when I open the refrigerator door. You know, a good idea, Kenny, would be to just blow the light out.
Yeah, but then you couldn't find what you're looking for.
Or blow the candles out. Foul back. Time now for the G moment, and it involves Alex Rodriguez yesterday, and it certainly was a G moment for the Yankees. Verlander served it up, and it made the first row of seats in right field, and Alex had a home run. We had a G moment, and Verlander didn't have a good moment. He was upset with that. The 2-1. Outside a 3-1. And the 3-1. There's a strike, 3-2.
You just knew yesterday the way Sabathia and Verlander settled in that it was going to be a moment like what Alex had, that swing of the one, get the mistake or ball, just being able to get over the fence. Well pitched game, both sides.
It was a one swing of the bat game.
Yes.
3-2. Grounded to short. Santiago. And they get Rodriguez for the final out, so the Sun does not cost Edwin Jackson nor Josh Anderson. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. We've played one here at the stadium. It's 0-0, Tigers and the Yankees.
Watson's in a playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he wins.
He was one shot down after the first hole.
Okay.
So,
How long is the playoff?
four holes, I think.
Oh, that's it.
4-hole playoff? That's cool.
I think that's what they said.
We are here at Yankee Stadium as we go to the second inning. A view from behind the foul pole. And it's 0-0. Jabba Chamberlain struggled in the first inning, but got out of it without allowing a run. And Brandon Inge is going to lead off against Chamberlain. It'll be Inge, Josh Anderson, and Gerald Laird here in the second. And the pitch is high. Old Timers Day, always nice to have a parade of former Yankees, Hall of Famers, All-Stars coming to the booth. And the first one that graces us with his presence is the great Goose Gossage. Goose, always good to see you. How you doing?
Thank you, Michael. It's good to be here.
Nice ovation again. And does that ever get old?
No, it doesn't. You know, when I played, my favorite day here at Yankee Stadium was Old Timers Day, and that's when the guys came in and you know, shared a locker with us. So it was a very special day. Like I said, it was my favorite day of the whole season.
From what I understand now, the Old Timers have their own clubhouse.
Oh yeah, we've been kicked out. We got the old auxiliary, but hey, it's you know, this is, I think, the only really Old Timers Day left in any of the stadiums, and it's been a great tradition here, and then to be a part of this is very, very special.
I think certain teams might celebrate a world championship year or something, but the Yankees celebrate their history, which is a little bit different.
Yeah, and you know, I've never understood why more ball clubs don't do the Old Timers Day, because there are a lot of ball clubs that have that tradition, and it's kind of strange that because the fans, there's so many generations of fans that relate to different generations of ball players.
You don't have to have as many of the Hall of Famers with a great tradition as you do here. The fan base of each respective city, they go back whenever it is.
Absolutely.
It's been almost a year since your Hall of Fame induction. How's life changed?
Well, it's just upside down, I guess, is the right way. But
those numbers tell you how you get in the Hall of Fame. Look at those.
Well, you know, it's something I can't even really I can't even comprehend it.
That one's chopped to A-Rod. He's going to try to get a force at second. He does. That's all they get. As Josh Anderson grounded one to A-Rod, so one away.
Yeah, I can't even comprehend it, guys. It's been, after I got out of the game, I thought, well, now I'll be able to have a little time to reflect back on my career. And the longer I'm retired, the further away my career gets. I can't even really, think back, I guess, Al, and you guys. I mean, Singy, you had a great career, and Al,
I had a terrible one.
Well, you've had a great career, you didn't have the aggravation of giving up home runs in front of millions of people,
Here's Gerald Laird against Jabba Chamberlain. What was the best moment today for you?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, just being out there with all those guys and being introduced there at the end, I mean, as a Hall of Famer, that's like, I just can't. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. And it's just so humbling and, such an honor. I can't even really, it's an out-of-body experience. I can't even put it into words.
Runner goes, and that one is skied to a fairly deep left center field. And again, Brett Gardner will make the catch, helping out Melky Cabrera, who is battling the sun.
Great play right there.
That's twice today he has bailed out Melky, and Melky's I'm sure he's happy to have the help, and somebody with the speed that Gardner has in center field. You can see Anderson off and running, and the Yankees almost deked him. He dove into second thinking that the ball had been, was going to be a throw to second. And you can see Gardner getting the ball back in quickly. I got it, man. He does have it.
One thing that hasn't changed here is the Sunfield in left, huh?
Oh, no.
You're a perfect person to ask this because you're a Hall of Famer as a reliever. A lot of people don't remember that you actually started your career as a starter. The debate with Jabba rages on. He has not been terrible as a starter, but certainly has not been as great as people thought he was going to be. What's your read on Jabba? Why doesn't he throw as hard as a starter as he did as a reliever?
Well, I've always felt in my heart, and my opinion personally is that he should be in the bullpen. I think he's got that demeanor. Mm-hmm. He's got that, that great fastball when he came up. He was their savior a couple of years ago. I don't think they'd have made the playoffs without Jabba that year. And, I started out as a reliever.
There's a balk there as Anderson moves to second, and then they moved you to the rotation.
And I only started 1 year, and we were out of arms, and they just wanted. We needed starters, so they asked me if I'd start. I said yeah, and I had won the Fireman of the Year in '76 or '75, and then come into my own as a reliever, and then they put me in the rotation. Then Tanner traded for me back in Pittsburgh. And he said, you're back in the bullpen. So it was the best thing that ever happened to me. When I got moved into the bullpen in '72, man, that was a kind of a junk pile down there where old starters went that couldn't start. You didn't want any part of that bullpen. And now it's become such a huge part of, your
they draft guys
the
first round to be a reliever.
Exactly.
First picks.
Yep.
Well, we just saw a balk from Bob Davidson, and as pitchers over the years, they call him Balk and Bob.
Things never change sometimes.
Well, it's unusual from the third base umpire to call a balk.
That's why I never threw over there.
Well, they said the good pitchers usually didn't have the good moves. Not many men got on base.
You know me, see, I didn't throw over there. I didn't pay much attention to that runner, but
the guy at the plate.
And there's a chopper to the left side. A-Rod cuts in front of Jeter, and they get Santiago. And that's going to do it. Goose, it's always great to see you.
Michael,
You're one of my favorites.
Pleasure, buddy.
Thanks so much.
You too, buddy.
That's Goose Gossage, Hall of Famer.
Keep up the good work, guys.
One of the great players in Yankee history as we give you some looks back at Goose's great pass that led him to Cooper. We are.
Hey, Brian, what'd you get on that?
Do it. Hey, ever away from home and missing the game? No problem. Now Yankee fans on the go can watch live Yes Network games on their PCs and laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Hideki Matsui takes a pitch out of the strike zone. It's 1-0 to be Matsui, Posada, and Cano. Matsui in July hitting .371. No score. Bottom of the second.
Yeah, Hideki providing protection for A-Rod in the lineup.
Jackson deals.
When A-Rod first came back, his walk total was climbing. And A-Rod still, I think he's walked more times than he has struck out this year. And he's never done that before in the season. But you put somebody who's swinging the bat well behind him, then all of a sudden A-Rod's got to get some pitches to hit.
3-0. They turned him loose, and he grounds one foul. Hey, well, when Goose Gossage left at the end of the top of the second inning, all of us have a little kid in us. We asked him to sign our scorebook, and you got to take a look at his signature, and you can see why the guy's a Hall of Famer. Can you see that?
It's beautiful.
I mean, he says it was the nuns in Catholic school. He said when you didn't write properly, you get hit on the hand with a ruler.
And that's him actually signing. Was that your book, Michael?
That's mine, yeah. And that'll be on eBay tonight, everybody.
That ain't so well. That goes up a couple hundred.
The 3-1 is outside, so Matsui works a walk.
Oh, my goodness.
There's Al's former manager, Jim Leland, trying to salvage the final game of a 3-game set here in the Bronx.
Kind of a straightforward manager, huh?
Just an old school, true old school manager. What does that mean? Just gritty in there, no nonsense. Just a guy that wanted everybody to play the game right and play it hard, and really wasn't into all the fluff exterior stuff. Didn't appreciate him as much when I had him as manager with the Marlins until after. And I think that's usually the case with a lot of hard-nosed guys.
Pitch to Posada's outside. Did he like you?
I think so. I hope so. I pitched a pretty good game in Game 7
we're wearing a world championship ring because of it. No, we did. He did. He's fun. He's got a sarcastic humor. He likes to rib guys, and I don't know. You'd have to ask him, but I think so.
Line drive. And they get one. I did ask him. He did not like you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You know, if he didn't like you, Al, you wouldn't have started Game 7.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think there was a moment.
There wasn't any. Who else was going to start?
No, he was fun.
He does like you.
When he used to smoke, he would come in right before my start. He said, 2-packer, 3-packer. I said, whatever, Jim. Whatever it takes. Keep your pitch count down.
Oh, my goodness.
Just fun. Fun guy. Loves the game. You mentioned it, Michael, about him during the Old Timers game. You stand up top.
That was great. That was such respect. And the Old Timers Day ceremonies begin at 11:45, so the game doesn't start till, this game didn't start till about 2:08. And he was out there right from the beginning during Old Timers batting practice. He just soaks it all in, and you can see that he enjoys what this is all about.
You saw that note about Cano and his average after the All-Star break, 328. He's kind of living up to that. He's hitting 368 in this month of July. He's got a 10-game hitting streak going right now.
Well, a few years ago, he was battling for the batting title. Jeter and Mauer right down the stretch.
There's a ground ball up the middle, and a nice play by Polanco gets the force on to first. What a double play. A beautiful double play started by Polanco, who took a base hit away from Cano and turned it into a twin killing. There's one on to first, and they just get the hustling Cano for the final out. We go to the third.
There you go.
Jim, we got it. Jim, we got it.
Hi, Kevin. I heard you all along. I did, yeah.
Okay, can you pull this down just a little bit? There you go.
Okay, I didn't know if I need to adjust that or you.
There you go.
Am I okay?
Yeah, you're fine now.
Okay.
Just like a professional.
Where's Robin? How does this? Is this okay? My hair all right?
Oh, you look marvelous.
You look marvelous, darling.
There you go.
Oh, there I am. Okay, I see it. Okay, the Yankees just gave me this beautiful necklace right there. Isn't that
nice.
great? Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Uh-oh. Get me fixed.
There you go.
Bobby Mercer probably loved the Yankees as much as anyone who ever played for the Yankees, and had some great moments here in the Bronx, and obviously with us here at the Yes Network, and before that MSG. And Old Timers Day was always a hit with Bobby, as he was mic'd up and told us what was going on the field. And every day that goes by, we miss him a little bit more. So it was great to see Bobby's lovely wife, Kay, on the field during Old Timers Day, and she joins us here in the booth. And if you've never seen Kay Mercer, let me just tell you, she's probably one of the most beautiful women of all time.
Oh, gee.
No, really, it's true. I mean, look, a gorgeous lady. Good to see you.
Well, great to see you guys. This is fun. I've never been mic'd up here before.
Well, Bobby wouldn't let you talk.
No, I tried. This was the only place he got to talk. So.
How are you doing? How's your family doing?
You know what? We're great. We really are. We truly are. The kids are all in Dallas, and everybody's good. Todd was up here and saw a game 3 weeks ago.
Now, I know you're doing some great work about early detection. Tell us about that, Kay.
Yes, you know, the Brain Tumor Foundation in New York connected with Bobby and I. And this is a job actually Bobby really wanted to do, and he wanted to get out there and promote early detection, and they've named the mobile MRI scan truck after Bobby and his memory. And it travels around in the city, and I got my own scan actually in that Thursday at Yogi Berra's golf tournament out in Montclair, New Jersey. And you know, it's all about early detection. It really is, no matter what cancer you're talking about. And for Bobby, this was important. So with him not being here now, I've kind of picked up, and I'm wanting to get the word out. And if I can plug one very important thing, is their dollar drive that's going on. And you can text SCAN, S-C-A-N, to 30644, and there you go, and you can donate $1 or $5 or whatever, you know, whatever you can do. And kids can do it. So many kids text, and it's an easy way to do it. Or, you know, you can go online to earlydetection.org, and all the information's there. It tells you about the texting and all. And this is a great way. You know, New York City is so fortunate because they're the only ones that have this scan, this mobile unit available right now.
Now, how do you know where the mobile unit is? How do we know that?
You can go online.
Okay.
You can find out about that and get all the information you need. It was great that it was out at Yogi's event on Thursday, and a lot of the participants out there went and got their scans. It's easy. It's an 8-minute thing. You know, you're in and out, and some people think they might be afraid to find out about it, but I mean, hey, that's silly. You know.
Are there plans to expand this maybe to other cities if other cities find out how well it works here?
Hopefully, but the funding has to be there.
I got you.
It's, you know, how the government is and how they pull back on some programs and all, and that's why we're trying to help get the message out about it. So it's just like, you know, when mammography was out there and they were having these mobile units go into areas, and now that's very, you know, prevalent, and so they're hopeful that this is something that can happen too. Sure.
Okay, is this one of your ways of carrying the legacy of Bobby and helping others, or trying to continue a good charitable endeavor?
I certainly think so. You know, Bobby was really so much more than just about baseball, although that was his first love. He actually did so many other things, charitable things, and when this happened to him, he saw a real opportunity to use something that was a bad situation for him and turn it into something that maybe he could help others with. So with him not being here, and you know, hey, I was with the guy forever. He played Little League with my brother, so we're kind of joined at the hip all those years. And if I can do anything, then that's what you're going to be hearing from me.
Well, you just told a little bit of a mistruth. You were his first love.
Yeah.
Baseball
Well,
came
You know, I was
second.
thinking the very same thing.
Well, I guess I have to admit that is the truth. But
I mean, he used to always tell us how, you know, he obviously outkicked his coverage.
Well, you know, it's really funny. I used to have a funny little thing that I would say. I'd say, from time to time, I'm asked to share, how do you two remain a pair? It's really easy, because you see, I love Bobby, and Bobby loves Bobby. So we almost never disagree.
Polanco pops it up. Mark Teixeira will make the call, and he's going to make the catch for the first out as Granderson stays put at first base. How have you been doing?
I've been doing really well. I've been traveling much more than I ever expected. I thought I'd just sort of be back there. Here I am throwing out a pitch, and I didn't do as well as Diana, I must say. I think an old catcher's wife must do better than a DH or something, whatever, a broadcaster's wife. She beat me on that one. We were hoping we get to practice some last night, and all we did was visit and laugh and talk when she got in. So, you know, I've traveled a lot from Oklahoma. I've been up here 5 times this year, and but the first time I've seen a game at the stadium.
What do you think?
Yeah.
You know, I'm so impressed because it feels like I'm in Yankee Stadium. I thought it would feel different because it's so new, and you know, it's just beautiful in the suites and in the you know, out in the common areas and all that. And what an easy ballpark to see the game from.
There seems to be more space here. That's
So much more space, and I love that there's such a big crowd here today. This is fantastic. So I feel we were all commenting, all the wives and the players who came in were commenting on, you know, that it feels so much like the old stadium, and that made us feel good. We were afraid it wouldn't feel like home to us, but it really does. So
Cabrera has an 0-2 count and a pitch outside.
am I doing like Bobby and talking way too much?
Not at all. Now in the old stadium, Bobby had his moments as he goes through the monuments to get that
Wasn't
deep
that
drive
great?
to center.
Wasn't that great? I did love that piece of film, and you know, the one great thing is the Yankees have been wonderful that they have sent us, I think, everything he ever did, and you've sent us center stage, and we have the Yankeeographies, and they made copies for every one of the grandchildren, and so we have all of that.
Cabrera swings and misses for the second out.
So they are going to know what their granddaddy did, you know, the little ones that won't remember him much, and that's why I'm sort of compiling all the wonderful things I've gotten from fans who've sent me stories about Bobby, their own little story about him, meeting him and what he did for them or with them. And I'm also letting them know that side of Bobby, because that was really, you know, who I want them to know and remember.
Here's Marcus Timms, and there's a ground ball foul outside of third.
Now, Kay, I think the first time that I ever met you, remember when we went on that trip to Japan?
I certainly do.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. But
Yeah.
as the first time I really got to know Bobby, because he was on my team, you know, as opposed to being an opponent all those years when he was with the Yankees and I was with Baltimore.
Exactly.
And we formed a kind of a kinship back. And
Yeah.
even we stood next to each other in the dugout when, you know, we weren't playing or anything in the dugout on offense. And, you know, I really got to know it was a lot of fun playing with Bobby just for those about a week or so, I think it was.
3 weeks.
Is that what
Did
it was?
Yeah, it was 3. Did it only seem like
it flew by
a week
quickly
to you?
for me. I was having so much fun. But that was a memorable trip for me.
I have pictures.
You do?
We both look the same.
Runner goes. The 0-1 is outside to throw to second, gets through, and goes to center field as Granderson will move to third. So a stolen base and then an E2 on Posada's throw, and Granderson 90 feet away from the game's first run.
Maybe you look the same, but I know I don't.
No, I think you do.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. That's very kind of you to say.
I also thought a lot of the old timers today looked like, I think Mel Stottlemyre looks like he could pitch.
Uh-huh.
And quite a few of them really looked like they were in their playing form.
So now a runner at third with 2 outs, and the count is 1-1 on Timms. And that one is tapped back to Jabba Chamberlain. He bobbles, fires to first. A nice stretch by Teixeira. Kay, we love you, and you are always a part of our Yes family.
Thank you. This was fun. Hey, you know, if I get really bored, I may come back and
Say hello
fill
to the
in
kids.
for somebody.
There's our guy showing off his muscles.
Oh, he was always that.
It's 0-0. Yankees and the Tigers. And Nick Swisher digs in on the Modell scoreboard. And Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. Grounded foul outside of first. Want to give you the number again to donate for the early detection van that's named after Bobby. You can donate to the Dollar Drive. Text SCAN, S-C-A-N, to 30644. Or go to roadtoearlydetention.org. And earlydetection.org. And obviously it was important to Bobby, and it's important to Kay, so it's important to us, and we wanted to give you those addresses again.
It's great. Great idea.
Just $1 can help keep the wheels rolling. The 0-2. 1-2.
I tell you, when you see Kay, you have some strong memories of our good friend Bobby.
And they really they
resonate.
Pre-high school sweethearts. And I think Bobby met Kay when he was in Little League. Great lady. Great to see her. And Mrs. Munson was here today, and Mrs. Elston Howard, and Mrs. Catfish Hunter. So some grand ladies of great Yankees graced our presence here on Old Timers Day, the 63rd annual Old Timers Day, and the first one at the new ballpark. 3-2 to Swisher, and Nick works a walk. Hey fans, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Today's question is, which of these legendary Yankees would you most like to have seen play? And the choices are number 1, Joe DiMaggio, number 2, Lou Gehrig, number 3, Mickey Mantle, number 4, Babe Ruth. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply.
Well, I did see one of them, and that was Mickey Mantle. And he was certainly legendary.
That'd be interesting to see the way that poll plays out. Because, I mean, I would love to have seen Babe Ruth play because he was so far and above everybody else that played that time, hitting more home runs than whole teams. I would just like to have seen him play. But if you're younger, you might say, well, DiMaggio or Mantle. You could also text 5 for Al Leiter if you would like to have seen Al play.
I'd take the Babe. I would just like to see if the story of him having hot dogs during a game is true.
Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
How about the story of him promising the kid in the hospital a home run? I know O'Neill was able to do it.
In fiction, on Seinfeld. The 1-0. That's served down the left field line. Fair ball, it's trouble, but it slices foul. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. The Orioles come to town. Then David Hernandez will take the mound for them. 2-2, 3.94. Andy Pettit will start for the Yankees. 8-5, 4.85. And our coverage will begin at 6 with the BP show. 6:30 is our pregame show, and then right around 7:08 will be first pitch. There's Mick. Looks like he's eating a hot dog.
Yeah. Is that Gator next door? Pizza?
That is Gator. Oh, he's brushing his teeth with his arm in ice.
Yet another 10 strikeout performance.
We were talking about Edwin Jackson in the tray. There's the Babe. Promising another home run, maybe.
Grounded up the middle. There's one on to first. It's a double play. Boy, they've turned to beautiful double play started by Polanco.
Polanco to Santiago to Cabrera. That's been the mode of operation here these last 2 innings. And once again, Polanco leads his feed. Maybe not quite as spectacular as the first one, but certainly the same outcome as Melky Cabrera is grounded into a double play. Polanco with the flip. Now watch the pressure put on to Santiago by Swisher. Takes him out, but he gets rid of the ball quickly enough to get the double play. That's going in hard and clean. Nick Swisher at second base, upsetting the shortstop, but he couldn't upset the double play.
That one's grounded foul. I'll tell you what, that was borderline because Nick Swisher went in hard, but you got to be a body length away from the bag. And it would have been interesting to see if the throw was thrown away or they didn't get the runner if they said he was out of the baseline.
Let's see.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right, Michael.
He's out there. Check swing, but the first base umpire, Mark Carlson, said that he did go.
Well, one of the big reasons why the Tigers are winning and leading, let's take a look here. They broke the plane. Is their improved defense, and that's exactly what Dave Nebraska in the front office was aware of. That you just can't keep out slugging everybody, and as a result of stronger up the middle, Adam Everett was a good free agent sign. They traded for Gerald Laird, who's got the best caught stealing rate. Ramon Santiago, you talk about slick fielding. And now in the outfield, they're actually more athletic with the younger corner outfielders, and Josh Anderson and Cleet Thomas. Seeing more and more teams getting away from out slugging the 3-run homer approach and more of a running situational. You see more stolen bases, hit and run.
Well, the Detroit, they have an expansive outfield anyway, so it's not going to be a big time home run park.
That one got a piece of the umpire, Jeff Nelson.
It's more of a doubles triple park, except for to right field. Right field is fairly reachable, but you know, left center and right center and center at Comerica Park, you got to get all of it to get it out of there.
Brandon Inge, third base, healthy, Gold Glove caliber type third baseman.
And a swing and a miss. Edwin Jackson's got good stuff today as the Yankees go down here in the third. Because of the double play, nobody's left. We'll go to the fourth, and there's no score on yes. Time at the top of the fourth inning. Miguel Cabrera is one of 5 players managed by both Joe Girardi and Jim Leyland. Who are the other 4?
You know, Michael, right after the All-Star break, we started out with a nice, easy question. And now we're down. We're starting to get back to where normal. Getting to be tougher again.
Here's Cleet Thomas. And that one's fouled back. Each team with a hit. Yankees with an error on a throw by Jorge Posada, but no damage from that, as no run came across the 0-1.
Well, if you're Jabba, you're starting to look at this start as CC Sabathia and Verlander looked at their start. Two dominating type arms, knowing that it may be one mistake that is not only just a run but a loss. Every pitch, although every pitch should matter when you get in that zone of executing pitches repeatedly. But in a game like this, you got to be aware of that a mistake could be a loss.
And the 1-2. Foul back.
Al, you and I between innings were talking about how much smoother Edwin Jackson seems to be than when we first saw him with the Rays. He was like a maximum effort on every pitch. Now it seems like he's nice and quiet. His delivery is smooth and got the little flick of the wrist, and the ball just 90-something miles an hour out of his hand.
That one's driven deep to right field. It's 1-0 Tigers. A long home run for Clete Thomas. A solo shot obviously leading off the fourth, and it's 1-0 Detroit.
Well, you can see why the Tigers like Clete Thomas. I mean, he's got some power. That's his 6th home run of the year. He gets called up from the minor leagues, and Jabba was gone. Breaking ball that hung in the middle of the plate. Clete Thomas, very strong throwing arm, good defensive ball player, and looks like he's got a future in Motown.
Yeah, you look at his size. 6 home runs, just called up. He doesn't have the disposition, at least size-wise, as Pop, but he has shown that.
So his 26 run batted in, 6th home run of the year. The count 0-1 on Brandon Inge. Brandon Inge had the misfortune of being in the home run derby at the All-Star game and not hitting one home run. Wasn't able to get one over the wall.
I don't think he's the first one that's happened to.
I think he might be right.
Yeah, didn't Piazza go one year without hitting one?
Really?
I think so.
I know the American League had a very tough time even getting participants. Obviously, the best home run hitters in that home run derby came from the National League, as Brandon Inge goes down looking.
Nice bounce back by Jabba after giving up the home run. He comes right back and strikes out the next hitter. Maybe didn't hit the target, but it was over the inside corner. You can see Posada. Inge thinking it's inside, jumps back out of the way, but he's headed back to the bench.
Big inning in the first inning with 23 pitches, but he's been somewhat economical since then. An 11-pitch second got him back on target. Pitch inside. Now, Jabba this year has had some struggles here in the Bronx. His numbers at the stadium 0-2, 5.36, and then on the road 4-0, 3.71. And after a while, it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy where you go out to the mound, I haven't done that well here, and give up 2 more runs per game here than I do on the road. So he needs a win just for the peace of mind. And one thing that Jabba's done a lot of is he's done a lot of no decisions. More than anyone in Major League history after this many starts, he just doesn't ring up wins or losses.
It shows you he doesn't get as far into the game as you would like.
Grounded to third. Alex Rodriguez retires Josh Anderson. 2 away.
Well, that's true, Kenny. You know, look at CC yesterday. It was a perfect example of those late inning snatch wins where you maybe struggle early on, your pitch counts up, you settle down, you're pitching against a tough pitcher, and then you get that late run. That yesterday was in the bottom of the 7th, but you know, if you can grind out that 8th inning, and if you continue to pitch and not get through 5 or barely get into 6, you're missing a lot of chances to get some wins, especially with the Yankees. They score late. You know, this isn't a team that just lays over. You have a good shot at getting some late wins, late inning wins, and really it's been a product of his pitch count early on. Jabba
grounded to Jeter. He gets a nice hop and across the diamond. So Jabba rebounds after giving the home run to Clete Thomas. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. And it was a breaking ball. It was up in the zone, and then it was up and out over the wall in right field. A long home
What is he, a mind reader or something?
It's time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. The question was, Miguel Cabrera is one of 5 players managed by both Joe Girardi and Jim Leland. Who were the other 4? And the answer is Kyle Farnsworth, Pudge Rodriguez, Matt Traynor, and Dontrell Willis. Brett Gardner starts off the bottom of the 4th inning, so now Edwin Jackson has a 1-0 lead.
Traynor would have been a tough one.
Wow, Lobels. Get yourself some steak while you're here at the stadium. Al, you missed it. One of our great Yes Network executives, Woody Fryman, actually treated all of us the other day.
Really?
To Lobel sandwiches. And that set him back a bit.
Was that the day I was here? Or what?
You were there, yeah.
Yeah.
Today McDonald's, the other day Lobel.
A couple of captains in Yankee history, Thurman and Greg Nettles. That one is slapped to short, Santiago. And there's one away. Diana Munson was here at the ballpark along with Kay Mercer. They both threw out the first pitch. First pitches. You know what was one of the nicest moments? I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but down there I got choked up on the field when Don Zimmer was introduced. There's a ground ball to first, and Cabrera flips to Jackson 2 away, and I just thought that that was special because it was so nice of the Yankees and the Steinbrenner family to invite Zimmer back, who was not bid back, and the way the crowd received him. And you could see the tears in his eyes, and I spoke to him afterward in the dugout, and he was all choked up. It's just a great, great moment. That's what Old Timers Day are about. So he knows how the fans feel about him. He gets to see his old friends, and I just thought that was a really special moment. So good job by the Yankees, good job by the Steinbrenner family inviting Zimmer back, and I thought that was neat.
Good old baseball man.
61 years in the game.
Loves it too. Every time you talk to him, good spirit about him.
He's got some of the greatest stories.
And he was part of the Dodgers only World Championship team in 1955. That one is driven deep to left center field, giving Chase Granderson on the run, on the track, looking up. See ya! Game-tying home run, Alex Rodriguez. The 572nd of his career, and it stands untouched in the Tiger bullpen. And Rodriguez now 1 home run lifetime behind Harmon Killebrew for 9th place on the all-time list.
This is number 19 on the season, and it had the sound. It certainly had the distance. A quick stroke. Here it comes, and there it goes. Second day in a row that A-Rod has come up with a big home run to turn the Yankee fortunes around.
How about this stat, guys? 10 of his 19 home runs have either tied a game or given the Yankees a lead. And 5 of his last 8 home runs, well, 4 of his last 8 home runs have been go-ahead home runs. So this one ties the game. So he's hit some big home runs. And let's look at the IOTV Super Shot on the home run swing.
It's a tough pitch too, down and in, low enough for Alex to get to the barrel of the bat, but off the sound of it just sounded like a home run. That was a legit, well struck.
You know, you're right, Al. It was a pretty good pitch. It was down, but one thing that makes him such a great home run hitter is that he can hit several types of pitches out of the ballpark. Some guys need it right on the tee to hit it out of the ballpark. He can hit tough pitch. We saw him hit one in Anaheim that he was on his front foot and it went out of the ballpark on a changeup.
Well, you look at his numbers, 19 home runs, 52 ribbies, and you forget that he missed 28 games because of the hip surgery.
Today is his 61st game. So he's got, what, 52 runs batted in 61 games.
And then Also, Michael, when he came back, he had the first at bat where he got the home run. Then he struggled a bit there. He had the first at bat where he got the home run. Then he struggled a bit there.
Yeah, he really did.
Girardi gave him a little rest and been hot ever since.
Gets a nice hug from Nick Swisher, who probably was back in the video room watching that swing. So runner at first base. Game is tied at 1. All of these games, these first 2 games of the series have been close. Fouled away. Jim Leland actually said after yesterday's game, my goodness, all we need is a couple of hits in big spots and we take the first 2 games of the series. But a battle of teams, you know, Tigers are in first place, the Yankees are in second. 2 good teams, good pitching, good defense, and the Yankees have gotten the bigger hits and the bigger moments.
What do you say? All we needed was a lousy single here and there.
But isn't that the case with any 2 well-started games? It comes down to that. And that's exactly what's happened. Even Luke French, the rookie pitcher the first night against A.J. Burnett, locking horns.
One more stat about A-Rod's home runs. 15 of his 19 home runs have come when the run difference between the Yankees and their opponent 2 runs or less. So no tack-on home run type of things, which has always been, I guess, a criticism. But the numbers don't bear that at all. The numbers show that these home runs have been big this year. One-two. Inside, 2-2.
There's an example of the defense of Gerald Laird. That was a tough pitch with a left-handed hitter to come up with. Remember, Jackson throws pretty hard. And Gerald Laird, as Al said, was added as a defensive measure. He's thrown out about 44% of the runners attempting to steal. And that doesn't include his defense on balls in the dirt. Nice stop there. That ball was in around the feet of Jorge Posada. Makes it doubly difficult for the catcher to come up with it. But the runner has to stay at first.
And Posada's worked the count full, so that's going to start Matsui off at first, the 3-2 count and 2 outs. This chiropractic telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. So Cabrera will play behind Matsui, who's going to go on the pitch. And a check swing and a high fastball. And they checked with Bob Davidson. He said no, Posada did not go. So the home run by Rodriguez been followed by 2 straight walks. How close was this?
Tough pitch for him to lay off of. There was 96 run away from him, but that was close, above the belt, according to Jeff Nelson.
Pitching coach Rick Knapp comes out to talk with Edwin Jackson.
Rick Knapp, who was a minor league pitching coordinator with the Minnesota Twins for 12 years and really was hired because of getting these young pitchers with the great arm of a Verlander or Edwin Jackson to really be conscious of throwing strikes. Sounds kind of basic, but Rick Knapp, along with the whole mentality of the Minnesota organization, has really ingrained that in this staff all the way down to the minor leagues. Throwing strikes and getting ahead.
Well, the first 2 outs of this inning were done in 5 pitches. He's thrown 13 more since then. And the pitch to Cano is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Robbie, a hot shot up the middle, looked like a base hit. Polanco diving stab turned it into a 4-6-3 double play to end the second. Cano has a 10-game hitting streak. Count 1-1.
Well, that's what the Yankee lineup does. When they're on all cylinders, and they've been doing that most part of the year, make a pitcher work, make him throw your pitch, foul off the tough pitch, get deep counts, get some walks, elevate that pitch count. They do it so well.
Did Cano call time quickly enough for you?
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't. He wasn't halfway through his motion.
Michael, you missed it. The other day, Al got upset because Matsui called time too late.
And Al doesn't usually get upset, so that must be something that really is deeply ingrained.
Well, we started going pitcher hitter for a while.
Yeah, it was pitcher hitter. There was sand in his eyes. It's dangerous. And then our truck showed that there was no sand in his eyes.
What do you mean?
Well, there was a replay that showed that he didn't have anything in his eye.
Would you have taken that to court?
Oh, yeah. That was good evidence.
Was this Friday?
Yeah. Luke French was the pitcher. We're talking about how he goes over his head. A unique delivery in modern pitchers.
1-2. Shattered bat and a ground ball to first. Cabrera will take it himself, and that will do it. But Alex Rodriguez ties the game with a home run. Harmon Killebrew is next on the all-time list. The killer with 573. A-Rod with this swing now has 572. And we have a 1-1 game. Which is the complete opposite of what it was. Little Kevin. Well, thank you, Bob. So we go to the fifth inning. It's a 1-1 game on the Lexus scoreboard. Each team with 2 hits.
Sounds like Halliday's value is going up, doesn't it?
Where's he going?
Where is he going? And Ramon Santiago takes a strike. There are some in baseball. I don't think he's going anywhere because that J.P. Ricciardi will not be able to get equal value for a guy like that.
Well, how can you? You got to get as close as possible.
Right back to the mound. Chamberlain with the play, 1 away. And also, yeah, they don't want to trade within their division, and the teams that probably have the greatest young talent to trade would be the Yankees and the Red Sox, and if they don't engage them, I guess that would be a last resort, and it doesn't seem like either team is, as far as we know, have even had serious discussions with them.
Oh, maybe the Phillies. They're talking to Phillies, and they have a pretty good farm system. The Angels.
Does Pedro ruin that equation?
I don't think. I think they need more than one starter anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on the DL already anyway.
Well, if you're J.P. Ricciardi, you got to figure, is he going to be more valuable now or at next trade deadline? Because from the sounds of it, he's not going to re-sign there.
Well, if you don't trade him now, you can trade him in the winter, and then he's signed for next year anyway.
Right.
See, but last year when Cleveland traded CeCe, they traded him before the deadline and got more value of him for him because of the fact they said you can use him longer.
Right.
And he helped propel Milwaukee into the playoffs.
But that was his last year.
Okay.
I mean, if you trade, obviously you want to win this year as well, but you'd get Holiday for next year too. It's a tough call. It'll be obviously the biggest trade at the trade deadline. That one is lined into right field, and it gets past Nick Swisher, and it goes to the wall. Granderson is off to the races. He rounds second. He's going to go to third, and the throw is not in time. Boy, Nick Swisher got caught betwixt and between there. He didn't know whether to try to make the catch or if he tried to block it, and he did neither.
Yeah, this ball had overspin on it as Nick Swisher comes on and can't slow it down. And once it gets by him, Granderson's going to make the move all the way to third base. Here's the relay. Here's the guy who's led Major League Baseball in triples, as that ball goes right between the wickets of Nick Swisher. And Granderson will go all the way to third. Wow, spectacular
cartwheel.
Yeah, that scored a triple for Granderson.
The Yankees bring the infield in for Polanco. Fouled away.
And you saw how the umpires work in tandem as well. The umpire at third base at the time of the call was the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson, as the other umpires had to scramble to cover for each other. Here's Granderson headed for third. He's got about 48, 49 triples in the last 4 or 5 seasons that leads the American League.
Instinctively, look, he put his head down. He didn't have to pick up Gene Lamont, the third base coach. I'm going all the way. That was the difference.
Yeah, he knows what a triple is all about, especially with 1 out. He's trying to get to third base.
Now time is called as Posada wants to talk with.
As good an effort as that was, you think, was that a triple, guys? And I know it was tough. He was caught in between, Swisher was, in diving, and then he had to pull up because he realized he couldn't get the ball.
I hear what you're saying, but it's hard to score a single and two errors, because you know what? If you're going to score that, then it's an error all the way. You should have made the catch then.
No, it was a sinky liner. It's a single.
I think it's a triple. I think it's the only way to score it. That one's fouled off. Granderson was darting down the third base line. I don't know if there was a sign missed. He's talking to Lamont right now. But his heart must have been in his mouth when he saw Polanco swing.
Got a smile on his face now, but he wouldn't have been if there was a line drive in his direction.
It would have been a toothless smile.
Here he comes. You know, by the way, Granderson, 23 triples 2 seasons ago. 23 of them.
The 1-2. Oh, couldn't get out of the way, so Polanco will take first. Now, he didn't do that on purpose, not on 1-2, and you've got Cabrera on deck.
Well, you said it, Michael. Absolutely not. You want to come up and in, but obviously you didn't want to do that. 1-2 count, pitchers count. You want to put them away there.
I got a tough hitter coming to the plate in Miguel Cabrera. Here's our scouting report on him. 5 straight 100 RBI seasons. He's got 51 runs batted in right now. He's just 26 years old. He's got 193 home runs, coming up on 200. And right now he is 4th in the American League in batting.
Now the Yankees back up. They play a double play depth. Try to end this inning with a ground ball. Job is not a double play type of pitcher. Gets fly balls and strikeouts. There's a nice breaking ball, whispering for a strike across the outside corner.
So Job will throw the slider and then the big curveball. That was a curveball right there. You see Miguel Cabrera pulling off a little bit. A good piece of hitting in his first at bat, pulling his hands in on a boring fastball. Let's see if he comes back with that breaking ball again.
That will not get a run in. A big out for Chamberlain as Cano makes the catch. 2 outs.
Yeah, Michael, you called it that he's not really a double play type pitcher. He doesn't get ground balls, but he does get pop-ups when hitters are too late on his fastball. They can't quite get there, and the ball goes straight up. So that was a big out to get a very tough hitter. It was in a little bit too, and he couldn't get the bat around quickly enough, and an RBI situation missed, and then you can see he tosses away the bat in anger. That's what a little plus fastball is about, getting that pop up or swing and a miss.
And well located. The ball inside. Any big, strong hitter, they generally like the ball away.
Here's Marcus Timms. He is 0 for 2. Chamberlain deals. Outside. According to how he proceeds out of this inning, Java's got a nice pitch count working. 5th inning, 78. That's fine. Not in any problem at all. 79 now. The 1-0. That's right.
That's nice when you fall behind the count. You get yourself into a fastball count from a hitter standpoint. You can drop that breaking ball in there for a strike. And what that does, it creates confusion for a hitter too. He's not really sure now that he can sit back on a fastball if he gets ahead on the count. Breaking ball can come up there anytime.
Outside, 2-1.
Yeah, and then part of that, Kenny, also was the scout report. Marcus Timms, a good fastball hitter. He hit a hanging slider yesterday. But of the 9 pitches now in 3 at bats, all but 2 were breaking balls. 7 sliders, 2 fastballs.
The 2-1. 2-2.
After slider, this 95 looks like 105.
Crowd getting into it again. It's nice to feel the encouragement of over 45,000 people.
Granderson leads off 3rd. Polanco off 1st. 2 men out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a 1-1 game, top of the 5th. And the pitch. Muscled it up 97 miles an hour upstairs. And the count now full of 3-2. Granderson will stay put at 3rd. Polanco will go from 1st. And on deck is Clete Thomas. The pitch. He struck him out. 97 upstairs. And Chamberlain works out of trouble. A misplay by Swisher in right field. And Java picks him up. He goes with high cheese. And Tim swings and misses. And that is the old pumped up Java from his bullpen days. We're halfway through. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Some lasting memories here on the 63rd annual Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium.
It's a good idea.
You like it?
The photographer, yeah, it's like Disney World.
Here's Nick Swisher. Pitch is high, 1-0. Lexus scoreboard, 1-1.
Talking about Edwin Jackson, much smoother coming off being an all-star, but really dates back last year when he was with Tampa Bay. Joe Madden, who grew up liking the Cardinals, had him watch some Bob Gibson video. And not to compare him to Bob Gibson, but he wanted him to show Edwin Jackson his disposition, his demeanor, and how the whole presence of Bob Gibson of attacking the zone. And, you know, this guy at times, Edwin Jackson, as good as stuff as anybody in baseball. And he learned from watching Bob Gibson and how he went about his business.
Well, watching Bob Gibson video is one thing, but having hit against Bob Gibson, his demeanor was a little different than Edwin Jackson. I think you can see that he's more business and he's a better pitcher than he was with the Rays. But you know Bob Gibson, and I don't know what he would do to just get you out. There's Bob Gibson, Mel Stoudemire on the left, Bob Gibson on the right. Gibson was some kind of competitor.
I mean, that was the point of Joe Madden, trying to show somebody who all business, and you know, sometimes as a pitcher, you fall off that. I think Justin Verlander's a guy that has benefited also from being more focused.
And a broken back ground ball to second. Polanco gets Melky Cabrera 2 away. How about that, guys? Mike Messina gets a Yankeeography. So he comes back to Old Timers Day. Get to see him on Yankeeography. I guess it was that Monday. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, when Kim interviewed him during the Old Timers Day celebration, he was mentioning that some of the guys got on him. He said, hasn't been gone a full year yet. And has a Yankeeography.
Got him right in on the fist, the ground ball of Cabrera, and he flips to Edwin Jackson, who has a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning. We've played 5. It's 1-1 here at the stadium, and you know what we have coming up next? One of the great Yankees of all time, Bobby Richardson, coming up next right here on Yes. Really?
Because those 60s Yankees were some great teams.
Led the league.
Bobby Richardson was part of the ceremonies here for the 63rd annual Old Timers Day. Received a big hand, as he always does, as the fans remember the great games that he played for the Yankees and those great 1960s Yankees teams. And we are lucky enough that he is joining us now here in the booth for the Yes Network. And Bobby, it's great to see you. Always is.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here. Still be here. I put it that way. I played my first Old Timers game. I was 31 years old.
That's not even an old timer.
No, not really.
Well, it was a long time ago.
1955 through 1966 for Bobby Richardson. Why did you retire so early, Bobby?
Just felt like I needed to spend a little more time with my family, and Kubek and I roomed together. We both had the same thought. Both decided to retire at the same time. I actually played one extra year because Tony couldn't play that extra year. Worked out real good. Became a college coach, University of South Carolina. Whitey Sun was my shortstop. Worked out real good.
Now, you're such a family man. You obviously don't second guess that, but do you ever wish that you had played longer in the big leagues?
Only when the pension comes and I realize that if I can play.
What do you think of the new ballpark, Bobby?
Oh, it's fantastic. Down on the field as you look up, it's very similar. But when you see all the wonderful things in here, it's great.
Well, Bobby, before you came on, I had mentioned that you were one of the players on the Yankees, those great 60s teams, as Clete Thomas has called out on strikes, that there used to be baseball fields on this site across from the old stadium. And I used to play on these fields, and you could hear the cheers inside, and I was thinking maybe I'll be able to get in there one day. And,
well, you're in here, kid.
Yeah, I've been here a long time now, but there's some video of Bobby from those days, and one of the best second basemen in all of baseball, and had one of the greatest World Series ever in the 1960s. Unfortunately, the Yankees lost that one.
They sure did.
That's the Brandon Inge is the strike.
But what was it, 13 hits you had? Or
13 hits in the 64 series.
Yeah, 64. Yeah.
12 RBIs
in the 60 series.
Right?
Yeah, that's what it was. That's somebody under pressure playing some baseball.
Well, Ken, I only had 26 all year.
There's a look at the Great Hall where some of the great Yankees, their pictures, images, big scoreboard in there. Shows the great Yankee legacy. We talked about this during the Old Timers Day game, Bobby, and you stayed around that extra year, as you mentioned. And were you shocked that the fall was as precipitous for the Yankees? They've been so good for so long, and then all of a sudden in 1965 it went south.
I sure was. I actually played an extra year to break Bobby Mercer in, and he got called into reserve program, and we were not able to play. But you're right, we finished in the last place that year, and it was just a sudden thing. We traded some good young ball players for that one guy that kept us going for another year. Then it all came to a sudden halt.
Did the Yankee organization know that you and Tony were going to retire early, or did that take them by surprise?
They had a pretty good idea. We had talked to them in plenty of time and told them. Ralph Houck was my coach in the minor leagues, my manager in the minor leagues, my coach up here, my manager, general manager. He was like a father to me, and he knew exactly what we were doing.
Count 1-2 on Brandon Inge. Inge is 0 for 1 with a walk. Check swing and fouled away.
Now, during the 1961 season, that was a great season for me. I think every Yankee fan of my age can remember that particular summer. It was a great, great summer, great team. The team set the all-time home run record at the time. And what was it like watching Madeline Maris go down to try and break Babe Ruth's record on an everyday basis?
Well, as he strikes him out, we would say very simply all of us were pulling for Mantle because he had grown up in the Yankees system. When he couldn't participate those last several weeks, we shifted our allegiance over. After that season, after they set the record, they made sweatshirts with all the home runs for the players that had played. I was embarrassed to wear mine. I hit 3 that year.
Yeah, but your contributions were legendary in the middle of the infield along with Tony Kopech. I mean, those two guys were a double play combination that was unparalleled in those days.
Here's Josh Anderson. As Jabba has retired 3 in a row via the strikeout. He's throwing about as hard as he's thrown all year. He's at 96, 97 with the fastball. Pretty good slider and curveball as well. Yankees and the Tigers, it's 1-1 here in the 6th. Bobby, what was it like playing with Mickey Mantle? I guess I was too young to see him in his prime. Kenny did see him. What was it like?
17-year-old came up to the stadium. I'd signed out of high school, and Mickey put his arm around me and said, "Come on, kid, step in here and take some swings." Started a friendship that lasted a lifetime.
There's a ground ball to second, and a 1-2-3 inning for Jabba Chamberlain. Bobby, one of the best things about Old Timers Day is we get a chance to see you. You're one of the classiest gentlemen to ever put on the pinstripes.
And my congratulations to my roommate of all those years for going in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Tony.
Did you watch me pitch the Maz?
Yeah, I did.
Did you? How'd you like that one?
A little turn on
Did it remind you of anything? I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, no. I didn't then, and I did. Oh, that's funny.
I mean, I did give him enough pitches to swing at.
Old Timers Day here at the stadium and around this ballpark. There's so many memories and there's so many reminders of what the Yankee legacy is all about. There, an old-time Mickey Mantle card as Brett Gardner, a push bunt, and he pushes it foul. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 1-1 game. Tigers have managed 3 hits against Java. The Yankees just 2 hits against Edwin Jackson, although one of them a home run by Alex Rodriguez. In fact, both runs scored today via the home run. Cleet Thomas with a leadoff home run in the 4th inning against Jabba Chamberlain. So we're at 1-1. We've had Goose Gossage up here. We just spoke to Bobby Richardson. And we have another all-time Yankee with us in the booth. He's always great to have around, and he is, you can see, that's Ron Guidry, yeah. Louisiana Lightning. Ronnie, how you doing?
Good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Very, very well. The 1-1. Foul bat. So, you did a lot of pitching today. How's the arm feel right now?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine now. I iced it as soon as I got finished, so I'm great. I'm ready to go in 4 more days.
What did Lee Mazzilli say to you? Did he say anything to you about that?
He did. He had a few choice words.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, the competitive edge comes back. You know, you start going back in time. And that slider had a little break to it.
I figure I gave him enough pitches to swing at. He should have did something with one of those. Besides, he was getting tired.
Here's a look at that. Yeah, you know what? That brought back memories for me, too. It was a lot harder back in the day, but it had the same result.
But why is the switch hitter going around batting left?
No. I was on the other side. I still couldn't hit it.
But why is Maz hitting left-handed against him?
I have no clue. You have to ask him that.
It's almost like he was asking to do it, Ron.
Maz said that he had a better look at me, from that side.
Remember that picture? Brushing your teeth with your arm in ice?
I think I was eating a barbecued rib.
And you brush your teeth after that.
But that's some of the memories, because that picture there, I always had to speak to the reporters right outside of the training room door. So I was always late getting something to eat and drink, and my teammates would go and they'd get it for me, so I would eat while I was talking to the reporters.
Close play at first base as Jackson just beat Brett Gardner. Now, Ronnie, we haven't had a chance to talk to you. What do you think of the new ballpark?
Well, the new ballpark is magnificent. You know, when you sit and you look at everything, it reminds you so much of the old ballpark. Just the thing that the most ordinary people will not see is the inside, you know, and that's what's amazing, you know, for us. All the murals and the paintings and everything else. And then you got the clubhouse, the training room.
What'd you think of that?
I'd still be playing if they had that.
The modern amenities of Major League ballparks.
Here's Teixeira. Now we were talking to our left-hander in the booth, Al Leiter, and when he came up, you were on the Yankees. He said it was very difficult to be accepted into the Ron Guidry aura. And was he annoying, Ron? Did Al bother you a lot?
He was like a little puppy. He followed me all over the place. So of course, he had a good buddy. Rigetti was like that too when he first came. You know, but you know they tell you
still following.
you actually get a few orders from above. It's okay. Look, we have these left-handers. They're going to be great. You know, they're going to make careers, and you can see it. You know, watching this, you can see that they'll eventually learn what it's going to take to be a major league pitcher and pitch. So. You can't just go over and put your hand on their shoulder and then start giving them all of the stuff. You got to let them learn on their own. But I knew this left-hander was going to be good, smart. And I just wanted to make sure that he didn't get caught doing the things he shouldn't be doing right away. You know, grow into those things, like staying out too late at night.
Or going to the bathroom in the back of the plane when Billy Martin is the manager.
Right. You know, you got to watch what you do on those things like that. But, yeah, I remember, when Lefty was here, and I enjoyed being around. I wish I could have stayed a lot longer, to be able to enjoy pitching alongside of him.
That one's drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A long home run for Mark Teixeira. And the Yankees lead 2-1. That is his 23rd home run of the year and his 67th run batted in, and it gives the Yankees a lead.
Well, we just had Bobby Richardson up here a minute ago, and we were talking about back in the day when Mantle and Maris hitting home runs. Of course, Maris batted third, Mantle fourth, and today the Yankee 3 and 4 hitters are connected for home runs. This one, the number 3 hitter, Mark Teixeira, gives the Yankees a lead at 2-1, and that was touched off.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. And the pitch is upstairs now. Teixeira, 47 of his 96 hits this year have been for extra bases. He had a double in the first and now this home run. It's the guys like the Mark Teixeiras and the A.J. Burnett's and the C.C. Sabathias that are so blown away, the first old-timers that they experience. And Kim Jones in the Old Timer Show was talking to CC and AJ. They just couldn't believe that they were here and part of this. And when you were a young player, Ron, what was the guy that you looked at and couldn't believe that he was in the same locker room as you?
Well, you got to remember when we were there, you still had DiMaggio, Mantle, Maris, and you had Elston, you had Ford, you had Yogi. I mean, you had what you read about, you had what you dreamed about, all in that room. And there were too many great guys to mention all of them, but that was the cream of the crop. All of those guys there sitting down. And when you would walk in, and they'd look at you and they'd call you over, and they'd shake your hand or hug you. Sit down, let's talk. You became speechless because you're just thinking, well, these guys want to talk to me. But, it was all those heroes, our heroes, just as much as anybody else's.
Alex rips one to right field. That's going to be over the head of Clete Thomas and up against the wall. And Alex is going to have to hold for a single. That is a long, hard-hit single.
Well, I think the scouting report is out on Clete Thomas. He has a very strong throwing arm, and he got to the ball quickly. The ball was hit hard, number 1. He got out there very quickly. Fastball, middle of the plate, and it's a rocket off the auxiliary scoreboard in right center field. Not only that, watch the ball come right back to Clete Thomas. We saw an example of his throwing arm the other night, and for flat-foot, he didn't even step into it and makes a throw right on the bag at second. That's like a Ron Guidry fastball. right on the corner. Look at this throw. I mean, right there.
Now, Ronnie, obviously we're in the middle of a pitcher's duel right now. You've seen Jabba Chamberlain. You're watching Edwin Jackson. What's your read on Jabba?
Well, he's throwing the ball great now, but you know, like I said, a game like this it's helped because he hadn't thrown a lot of pitches before. You know, a month ago he'd probably be out of the game, but now you know he's going to be given a chance. You know, to learn more, to close the door. You know, I don't see anybody warming up, so he's probably going back out there. But this is a game like this is going to help his confidence, because with his stuff, you don't need a lot of runs to win. You just have to get over that, learn it, and pitch through it.
Now, there's so much emphasis put on innings now and pitch counts and things like that. How different was it when you first came up? Did anybody count your pitches?
I didn't want to know anything about how many pitches I had. I used to tell Billy, I'll tell you when I'm tired. I said, but look, I said, you got to remember, by the time I get to 80, I'm just starting to loosen up.
Let me ask you this. Now, I played against you in that 78 season when you went 25. What was it like to get 25-3 for a year? It was almost like guaranteed win night when you were pitching.
Well, what do you want me to say? They had a lot of bad teams?
No, there were some good teams. You know that.
No, I know there were good teams. You know, that's one of the things about that season. Like I said, you reflect on it. You pitch well, and your team plays so well. And it was always funny because Mickey Rivers, being the instigator he was, would always ask, how many runs do you think you're going to need tonight? And I would say 1. I'd say 2. And before you know it, he'd have already scored before I had a chance to sit down in the dugout. And you get a run. Well, when you're pitching well, you've seen it. You know, when a guy is pitching well and he gets a couple of runs early in the game, the other team kind of feels like they got a battle from uphill all the time. And you know, psychologically, you already have an edge. So that's pretty hard.
That's what I'm talking about right here. At 25-3 and a 1.7. You didn't need many runs that year.
But they help. They help when you get them early.
I wonder, Ron, because I was a teenager when you had that season. I mean, everybody that was a Yankee fan was just gripped to every single start that you made, and you were practically unbeatable. I thought that you should have been the MVP that year as well. Do you?
That's a tough question.
That's a tough question.
He's a tough guy.
I know. You know, I've always teased JR about it. I said the least they could have done was given it to both of us. You know, but he deserved it. I mean, I knew, you know, and I had locked up the Cy Young Award. Maybe that was something that hurt, you know, more of my chances, because I had that locked up like in August.
April.
Well,
Yankees are leading 2-1. Alex Rodriguez at first, 1 man out. The Yankees take the lead on Mark Teixeira's long home run. Yankees looking to sweep this 3-game set against the Tigers, a weekend series here at Yankee Stadium.
You know, having grown up in the New York area, when the Baltimore came here to play, my parents were still living here. And I'd stay with my parents, of course. And the days that Ronnie was pitching against us, I'd get ready to go out, come down to Yankee Stadium from Mount Vernon, and my dad said, you know who's pitching tonight, don't you? And I said, yeah, I know. And he would say, you think you're going to do anything? I said, I'm not sure.
Matsui swings and misses.
But I knew it was going to be a tough night, let's put it that way.
Now let's take a look at Ron Guidry in those years. Just nasty, filthy, and there he strikes out the MVP. Bring back good memories, Ron? You still think you could do it?
not like that.
Hey, what does it mean? I mean, you have a plaque in Monument Park. Your number's never going to be worn again as a New York Yankee. What does that mean?
That's the most thrilling thing. You know, my children are here, and 2 of them are, my daughter and my son. And, you know, they've mentioned that, you know, can you actually believe that it never will be worn again? You know, I mean, every time you come here, that really hits you as, that's it. There was the last time you wore it is the last time it'll ever be worn. And I mean, it's a great compliment. It's the best compliment I think I ever got.
Well, certainly well deserved.
I remember because I was lucky enough to MC Ron Guidry Day, and I remember the look on your face. You did not expect the plaque, Ron. That blew you away.
I thought I was a pretty intelligent person throughout my life, but I failed to realize if they retire your number, they give you a plaque. And I mean, when I saw the plaque, that's when I more so got emotional than any other time throughout the day, because
that one is laced down the left field line. It's a foul ball.
I didn't think my name would be on that wall with those great names of those guys there.
Well, it fits.
Well, thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, did you notice one thing, Kenny? Leiter's intimidated by Gidry. He hasn't said a word. I mean, to shut Leiter up for this long.
Yeah, it brought back memories. I'm telling you, I wasn't allowed to go do much without you. It's good.
Look, and now he's taking drink orders. Look at him.
And, you know, in all fairness, I mean, I've never probably told him that. But, you know, if I'd have got to play a couple of more years, Lefty, I'd have probably been the number 2 starter, because you'd have probably got the number 1 role. That's how good you were going to be.
Thank you. Not true.
Trust me, I told you everything else was going to turn out.
Well, you helped move along a kid who eventually threw a no-hitter, pitched in a game of the World Series.
Yes, and you know, you feel like maybe he listened.
A-Rod leads up first, 2 men out, a 2-1 count on Posada, and that one is lined past Cabrera, didn't even move, and down into the right field corner. Alex Rodriguez will go to third. Fielded out there by Thomas. He throws into Cabrera, and the Yankees have runners on second and third with 2 outs. Boy, was that blistered.
This is going to be an interesting replay, because Cabrera, I don't think he even moved. You're right, it's hit hard. Let's see where the pitch is first of all. Yeah, this should be hit hard, down the middle, about thigh high, and Posada just puts the best of wood on it. Let's see, here's the replay that should tell us.
Well, he's lucky that didn't hit him.
Yeah, well, this might have taken his glove off if it actually caught it. Here's the rocket, and this is in slow motion.
He didn't see it.
No, he did not. You know, sometimes you get those fans sitting over there with the white shirts on. Thomas gets to the ball quickly, and did it go behind him?
Yeah.
Went right behind him.
Getting out of the way.
Well, that'll bring up Cano. And Edwin Jackson will work from the full windup. Line drive, and caught by Santiago. Ronnie, it's always great to see you. Thank you.
It's always great to come up and see you guys.
Cater, thank you so much.
That's the great Louisiana Lightning. Yankees are leading 2-1.
I'll ask him a question.
Hey, it's break time. Time for a fresh brewed cup of coffee. And yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. WB Mason. Who but? You know what's happening, guys, don't you?
No.
My scorecard on eBay tonight is going up in value. Now we've got Bobby Richardson. We've got Goose Gossage. And now we've got Ron Guidry. I don't know if we can get close enough.
Not a bad signature.
Richardson has a nice one, too. That's a classy R on Bobby Richardson. Who else do we get? I'm going to get Al to sign it. Kenny. We go to the 7th inning. Jabba Chamberlain has a 2-1 lead. And the pitch to Gerald Laird outside. You know, with Ron here, that out off the bat of Cano was big. That would have given the Yankees some breathing room for the final 3 innings, 2nd and 3rd. But he hit the ball hard right at Santiago. And there's a strike. Jabba's still throwing hard. And he has perhaps his most consistently good fastball so far this year. He had a great start. Kenny detailed this earlier on April 29th against the Tigers. Some might argue that was his best start of the year. 7 innings, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Phil Koch's getting ready.
There's not many left-handed hitters. Well, you got Granderson at the top. So Joe Girardi wants Koch ready.
Gerald Laird swings and misses. Time for another look at today's Toyota text ball. Once again, the question was, which of these legendary Yankees would you most like to have seen play? You've been texting us at 58772, and here are the results. 48% want to see Babe. I voted for Babe. 21% Lou Gehrig, 19% for Mickey, and 12% Joe DiMaggio.
I think I would have said the Babe as well, because I did see Mickey Mantle.
You know, Gator made a good point about Jabba. A game like this could really pole vault you. And even his pumped up mentality, you mentioned, Michael, his velocity's been in that mid to upper 90s. There's an aggressive look and a demeanor that's reminiscent of when he was coming out of the pen, just attacking the hitters.
He has 7 strikeouts today. That's his most since he struck out 12 in a losing effort May 5th against the Red Sox. 104 pitches for Chamberlain at this point. And working on 9 days rest because of the All-Star break. The 1-1. Count 1-2. Great picture here at Yankee Stadium. A young Joe D signing autographs.
Doesn't that almost look like a Norman Rockwell?
Yeah, it really does. You know, we talk about it from up here, and yesterday I came to the ballpark as a fan. And really, it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable experience if you get a chance to come here once or twice this year. And the things that you could see and enjoy around this ballpark, it's just an extraordinary, extraordinary place. And they did a great job with it, and I had so much fun, and I saw a great game.
Look at these pictures.
Very well-pitched game.
Where is it? Oh, this is all around.
Yeah, detailed Yankee history all around the ballpark.
There's strikeout number 8 for Chamberlain as Santiago swings over a slider.
Jabba's heating up as he goes along here. He's had at least 1 strikeout in every inning but the second.
But his last 6 outs is 5 of them strikeouts.
Well, the crowd is booing Joe Girardi because Joe Girardi's going to take Jabba Chamberlain with him after this strikeout, and he's going to call on Phil Koch, the lefty, to get the lefty Granderson. So he shakes his hand. A good job by Jabba Chamberlain. He's going to get a big ovation from this large crowd here at the stadium. He also thanks the home plate umpire, Jeff Nelson, says good job, and it was a good job by Jabba. And we'll be back with Koch against Granderson. Jabba led off the cheers. 8th inning. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Joe Girardi makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. And Phil Koch is delivered to the mound to face Curtis Granderson. And Granderson loops one to Jeter. That's a nice outing for Koch. 1 pitch, 1 out, and we are out of the 7th inning as the Tigers go down 1-2-3, and the last 8 Tigers have been retired in order. At the end of 6.5 time for the 7th inning stretch. On this Sunday in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And now we see the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Yankees are leading the Tigers 2-1 as Joe Girardi is trying to get his team to sweep the Tigers. Good way to start the second half of the season after the All-Star break. The Yankees with 4 days off, not 3, and they've come back and they've beaten the Tigers 2 straight in 2 close games on Friday and Saturday night. This one also a nail biter as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. A good outing by Jabba Chamberlain, 6 2/3 innings, and Phil Koch gets 1 out on 1 pitch. And we go to the bottom of the 7th, and the first pitch to Nick Swisher is a strike.
You know, as a manager, you have to make tough decisions, and when Joe Girardi went to take out Jabba Chamberlain, he heard some boos. I mean, Jabba just came. He struck out 4 of the last 5 hitters he had faced, and the crowd thought he was really rolling. We did too, but I think Joe was seeing the big picture. He had a left-handed hitter to Granderson coming up. Phil Koch was in the bullpen. Of course, Koch comes in and does the job as Phil Hughes gets up now. But the fact is, Jabba had 107 pitches, and I think he's looking down the road, the big picture. Get him out of the ball game with a chance to win it, but not with a chance to lose it. So, and turn it over to the bullpen. He's been doing a pretty good job lately.
Foutte-Nice and Brandon Lyon warming.
Well, if that wasn't his most dominant game of the year, certainly top 1 or 2. You mentioned it earlier in the year. I think it was a late matchup. You mentioned the 107 pitches. Granderson has already had a good series, 187 batting average against left-handed pitcher, 283. And yeah, you're right, Kenny. Let him get out. He's got a good cheer from the home crowd and feels good about what he's done. And good start to a second half.
Jackson closing in on 100 pitches, the 2-2.
Look out.
And Nick Swisher could not get out of the way. So he leads off with a hit batter.
Looked like Jackson slipped. Yeah, he's working on the mound there as he delivers his ball and he slips, and he's going to get. Let's see where he gets Nick. Looks like he got him on the tricep just below the shoulder. Nick gives up the bat, but he's going to get first base. Oh, man, you heard that one. That hurt. Now watch the follow through. Yeah, there's a little slippage there.
Do the Yankees play little ball now to try to get another run? Melky Cabrera, the number 9 batter. Inge is in at third, and Melky shows bunt, pulls it back, takes low, 1-0. Phil Hughes warming for the Yankees in their bullpen. He threw 40 pitches in the first game of the series. Did not pitch yesterday. They had a Seves pitch the 8th inning.
Brett Gardner leads the Yankees in sacrifice bunts with 5, but Melky's second. He's got 3 of them.
Runner goes, and they had the hit and run on, but the shortstop was covering, so Polanco will make the play. Mission accomplished as Swisher moves to second, and they stay out of the double play.
Melky able to handle the bat. Kenny mentioned about the sacrifice bunt, putting the ball in play, aggressive running. Obviously, Polanco seeing that he didn't have a shot at Swisher. We got the 1-run lead. Girardi pushing this Tiger defense.
Well, that's like a sacrifice bunt, only you getting that bat because you grabbed it out. So he's runner at second with 1 out.
So now a runner in scoring position for Derek Jeter. Derek's 0 for 3 against Edwin Jackson, and Derek has an 8-game hitting streak working. After the 6th inning this year, Derek's hitting .347. And we are here in the bottom of the 7th. The first pitch is a strike. Well, Bob Lorenz told you the Red Sox have already lost. They got shut down cleanly by Roy Halladay. So the Yankees have a chance to make up some ground in the American League East. Fouled away.
That doesn't surprise you when Halladay pitches a good game. I think he went all the way, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah. The Yankees have moved within 1 game.
1 game?
Yeah.
He did. And Kansas City's leading Tampa Bay 3-2. That's in the top of the 7th inning. And Tampa Bay starts the day 3.5 behind the Yankees, so it could be a good day for the Yankees if they hold on here. The 0-2. And Jeter swings and misses, and he has not had many good cuts against Edwin Jackson, who has overpowered the Yankee captain 2 away. Well, the New York Yankees are proud to introduce Hope Week, a unique week-long community initiative to help others persevere and excel. Each day from Monday, July 20th through Friday, July 24th, Yankees players will reach out to inspirational individuals, families, and organizations. Daily celebrations will culminate at Yankee Stadium, and outreach will often take place away from the ballpark. For more information on Hope Week, please visit Yankees.com. Get involved. Give hope. Here's Brett Gardner. And the pitch outside. 1-0.
Before Teixeira hit his home run, Gardner was the hitter before him last inning, and I was thinking that Brett Gardner is the type of player who could make something happen in a game like this on the bases. You know, if he gets on, he can move himself into scoring position. You don't have to worry about a sacrifice. Of course, you wouldn't with Teixeira at the plate. But he can steal second, steal. And those are the type of guys. But, of course, Teixeira is the type of hitter. He can do something with one swing of the bat, which he did when he came up following Gardner's out.
Gardner's a .347 hitter this year with runners on base. Nick Swisher's at second base with 2 outs. Brett a .277 hitter overall. Blown away 3-0. Well, as good as Gardner's been this year, there's not a trade the Tigers want to make. Walking Gardner and having to deal with Mark Teixeira.
Well, you get into the number for Edwin Jackson, 108, soon to be 109. Start worrying about tiring, and you're right.
You get the feeling that if he wants him, it's going to be his last man. Tiger bullpen is ready. Teixeira's already got a double and a home run off Jackson today.
Foul back, so the count is full. Well, Jackson has allowed 3 earned runs or less in 12 straight starts. This is his 13th. And in those 12 straight starts coming into today's action, 6-2, 2.26. Jackson's actually had a high this year of 132 pitches, which, while that is hard to believe that Jim Leland would push him to 132. And also Jackson wants to keep the ball out of the hands of the bullpen. Why? Because the bullpen is 6.43 ERA in his starts this season. And that's the highest for any Detroit starter. And relievers have relinquished the lead in 3 games in which he was in line for a win this year.
Yeah, sometimes as a pitcher, you're just in that hard luck spot in the rotation.
And he walks Gardner. And that is a no-no with Mark Teixeira coming up. So the veteran manager of the Tigers, Jim Leland, will make his way out, and he will take Edwin Jackson with him. Hasn't signaled yet. Brandon Lyon is ready. And let's see what Leland does. He's going to let him stay in there.
Wow.
Showing a lot of faith in the right-hander.
As he should. You've just cited some great numbers. This guy, he's been one of the best pitchers in the American League, deserving of his all-star appearance. I guarantee Jim's saying this is your last batter. You get him out here, come back and score. This is a heck of a start. Pump him up.
That shows me something. Showing some faith in him after a guy's hit a home run. Well, that was not a bad pitch. Down and in, but certainly left-handers like to pull that one. That was in the second deck. Did it make it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The Damon deck.
Teixeira Terrace.
And the pitch. 1-0. 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. Teixeira hitting .324. 2 homers and 15 ribbies. He gave the Yankees a 2-1 lead with that home run that we just saw. And the 1-0. Strike, 1-1. Yogi and Whitey at the ballpark today. And those are the 2 of them back in 1962. Fouled away. Now Jackson is well over 100 pitches right now, and entering today, opponents were hitting .346 against him when he gets over 100 pitches. He's at 114.
You know, one thing I noticed there, when Jim Leland went out to the mound, he took his sunglasses off. It's like he wants to look the pitcher right in the eye. Now you go back to the bench, put your sunglasses back on.
That's good, yeah. Well,
Eye to eye.
The 2-2. Served into left field. Josh Anderson is there, and he'll put it away. So the gamble by Leland pays off. He stays with his youngster, and he works out of trouble. We go to the 8th inning. Yankees strand 2. They're up 2-1. Time now for the Land Rover drive of the game.
Let's go back to the 4th inning with A-Rod at the plate. Tigers had a 1-0 lead, but not for long. Well, it was long. It was long gone. A-Rod's home run is our Land Rover drive of the game. It tied the ball game at 1. His 19th home run of the year.
Well, Joe Girardi again makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. And he goes for the other half of the Filthies. First it was Phil Koch, and now it's Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes went 40 pitches on Friday, and he got 6 outs, Al, and they were all strikeouts.
And so dominated. It really was nearly perfect. The only hits he gave up were on breaking balls. Just attacking every single one of these guys were just locked up or just swinging through these fastballs. Very impressive, Phil Hughes. 6 outs, 6 strikeouts.
I asked Joe Girardi today, would you ever use Phil Hughes? And back-to-back days, you see Hughes' overall numbers starting and relieving. On back-to-back days, after he had pitched in 2 innings. And he said yes, according to how many pitches he threw. He said, I don't think I would use him back-to-back after throwing 40 pitches like he did Friday. So he's going to face the heart of the order here, Polanco, Cabrera, and Timms. The 0-1. Fly ball, right field. Nick Swisher is there. 1 away. Hey fans, today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the 3 of us here in the booth for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. And today's candidates are number 1, Java Chamberlain, number 2, Mark Teixeira, number 3, Edwin Jackson, number 4, Alex Rodriguez. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Speaking of Jackson, Reggie Jackson. Reggie was here for Old Timers Day, got a nice hand as he was introduced before the game. And Cabrera with a ground ball through the left side for a base hit. So he's 2 for 4. And flaunting that 15-game hitting streak.
Scott can hit.
Now this is a significant outing for Hughes because it's the first time that Hughes has not had at least 2 days off after throwing more than 20 pitches. So scaling a new mountain here with Phil as a reliever.
Well, breaking ball, as big and strong as Miguel Cabrera is, he's able to stay back, get hits like this, really use the whole field. Very impressive.
There's Marcus Timms. Fastball fouled away, fouled back really, into the glove of Posada. And the 0-1. Dials it up again, 0-2. Job had a strikeout of Timms in the 5th inning with runners on 1st and 3rd. Dialed it up upstairs. Timms chased, and Java was pumped up, pumping his fist furiously, getting out of that inning. Hughes keeping Cabrera close. And the 0-2. Fouled straight back here. And just under our booth. A little bit of a scuffle for the ball down there, Al. What's going on? Do the play-by-play.
Well, little boy lost his ice cream. He's crying, and the big guy's giving him the ball back.
So the kid lost the ice cream and got the ball.
And he's crying.
He is crying? Is it like bitterly crying?
No, just sad. The ice cream's on the ground.
You know what? I've seen Paul O'Neill react like that when he drops his ice cream. Swing and a miss, he got him. 95-mile-an-hour fastball for Phil Hughes, 2 away.
The hitters are just not picking it up. Aside from it being 95 or better velocity-wise, it's coming out of his hand easily. Good long extension, and just here it is, hit it. It's that explosive. You see these, all the fastballs. I said yesterday, he gave up a couple of hits, or 2 days ago, he gave up hits on a breaking ball. The hit to Cabrera was a curveball. So confident.
Pitch to Cleet Thomas is low.
Well, a job of the way he was throwing today, and then Phil Hughes coming in throwing pretty well. And you had Coke in between. A little pause for refreshment there with facing one batter. Well, the Yankee pitching and the young pitchers have looked pretty good today.
Where was that? You know, I'm big on how the reaction or the disposition and tempo and demeanor on the mound. And anybody's successful is good as pitch, and they have the success that Phil Hughes has right now. You have to feel good about what you're doing, and it shows. And hitters know it. They feed off that.
And the 2-0.
Man. I will tell you one thing as a hitter, when the count is 2 balls and no strikes, you are geared up for a fastball. And this one shows you the power of Phil Hughes when he can throw it almost right down the middle and Thomas can't get to it.
By
you are looking for a fastball 2-0 that you can drive, and that was one that he could and still couldn't get to it. Late on another one.
It's above the speed limit, and he'll throw. Phil Hughes will throw enough breaking balls to create the doubt in the hitter's mind, and that has extra zip. Anything above 92 miles an hour and elevate up in the zone, hard to get on top of it.
Well, Phil Hughes looks as if he has found his niche with the Yankees. He has emerged as the 8th inning guy. Can he get out of this 8th inning? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees up 2-1. Got him. Blew a fastball by him, and a rare fist pump for Phil Hughes. So Phil Hughes was filthy on Friday, and then today he struck out 6 on Friday in 2 innings, and now 2 here in the 8th inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Pretty impressive by the Yankee youngsters. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Restaurant was almost 2 things, frog legs, and fried pork. Yeah. Then you should have. Hey, tonight after the postgame, stick around for an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show with the skipper's thoughts going into the second half of the season. And after that, it's an all-new episode of the Emmy Award-winning Yankees on Deck. It all starts tonight after the postgame. It's only on Yes. New pitcher is Brandon Lyon for the Tigers as the Yankees will try to build on a 2-1 lead, 2-5-1, leading 1-4-0. Edwin Jackson pitched very well. 2 mistakes, 1 to A-Rod, 1 to Teixeira, and that's the Yankee scoring. And the breaking ball to A-Rod is a strike. He flinched out of the way. Good name for a Tiger, Brandon Lyon. 3.77 ERA.
Tigers actually signed him as a free agent. Had 26 saves last year for Arizona, working out of their pen. And he's been pitching pretty well lately for the Tigers. Good tight breaking ball. He started A-Rod off with 3 consecutive breaking balls.
You looking for a 4th?
Now he's behind on the counter. You got to throw a straight one pretty soon here. Always look for the heater. There it is. Fouled it off.
Count 2-2. Alex is 2 for 3. Grounded to short in the first. Home run into the Tiger bullpen in the 4th. And then a single off the wall in right center in the 6th. 2 hits and 4 at-bats lifetime against Lyon. A-Rod now with 572 lifetime home runs. Next up, Harmon Killebrew's 573. 3-2. The Hall of Famer Killebrew, 9th place on the all-time Major League home run list. Fly ball, right field. Cleet Thomas cannot make the play.
see of Lee Thomas. I kind of like this guy. Yeah, he's got some tools. Covered some ground, has a strong arm. We saw him hit a home run today.
Tigers are going to have a decision to make. Carlos Guillen is on a injury rehab assignment. They have to figure out as to who's going to go. Magglio Ordonez just has not been the Magglio Ordonez of old.
And there's also a controversy with Magglio Ordonez. If he gets a certain amount of at-bats, I think right now it's about 175 more at-bats over the second half of the season. His contract for next year is guaranteed, and I think it's about $18 million. So obviously, if they don't play him, they have to prove that they're not playing him because he's not playing well. Otherwise, it'd be a grievance that would be filed. So that's something that they're looking out for in Detroit. And Jim Leland said, I don't look at those sort of things. I'm going to play who's going to help me win. 3-2.
And I asked Jim about that to start the series here. And he said it's ridiculous because there has been some things floated out there that, you know, they were trying to keep Maglio's at bats down so that they wouldn't have to pick up the option. He said, no, my owner, if Magglio Ordonez is the Magglio Ordonez who won the batting title a couple years ago, we'll play him. We want to win. He's never been told who to play.
3-2. Swung on and missed. He gets Alex Rodriguez. One away.
Well, the manager's the one who has a feel for his team. You know, and he knows who's playing well, who isn't. You know, it's not just about statistics. If we look at the breaking balls flipped up there to A-Rod, 3 in a row. Then the fastball, he fouls off. But when he wants to get him out for real, as he misses with a fastball, A-Rod fouls him off. What does he go to? Fouled off. What does he go to? Fouled off. 9 pitches. What does he go to? Breaking ball.
3 or 4. Good sinker slider. This was a big pickup for them. Maybe we'll talk about Edwin Jackson and what Verlander's meant for the Tigers, but Lyon has helped solidify this bullpen, which has been pretty strong. Zamaya just recently went on the disabled list. Fernando Rodney, their closer's been pretty good.
Strange hack there by Matsui. Count 1-1.
I think that AL Central is going to be a dogfight right to the end. White Sox look like they're on a move, and the Twins will. Well, the Twins are always the Twins. They'll always figure out a way.
Rolls over on that pitch. Grounds it to Cabrera, who steps on the bag, 2 away. Well, after the final out of the series against the Tigers, you have to stay with Yes for Bob Lorenz and the WB Mason postgame, featuring analysis and highlights from this game and the rest of baseball as well. Plus, Kimberly Jones has all the information from the clubhouse. It's the Emmy Award-winning WB Mason postgame, and it's only on Yes. And that'll bring up Posada. Jorge is 1 for 2 with a walk, the 1 a double. A double pass Miguel Cabrera at first, and Cabrera did not see it until it was past him. Scary.
The crowd is taken to this new cheer when Jorge comes up. There's a gentleman in the crowd that's yelling hip hip, and the rest of the people chant Jorge. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. And this lasts his whole at bat.
They used to have that on the Jumbotron at the old stadium, Hip Hip Hooray. Jorge.
And also ESPN made a Sports Center commercial out of it.
Yeah.
That one is popped up. Inge on the run makes the play in foul territory, and that is going to do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Lyon as the Yankees go down in order. The Tigers get another shot, this time against Mariano in the 9th.
Is that unusual? He always does.
Exit right. Turn on. It's time to take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
With one out in the 6th inning, a 3-1 fastball off of Edwin Jackson. Mark Teixeira and his Teixeira Terrace for his 23rd home run of the year, and that is the Geico play of the game.
And now it's time for Mariano Rivera. The walk-in from right center field, really a very slow, steady, classy, exquisite jog as he holds the glove in the right hand. And destination, mound. Now this is going to be a little bit different, as Mariano, for only the 2nd time this year, is going to pitch on 3 consecutive days. He's also thrown 30 pitches over the last 2 days, 14 on Friday, 16 yesterday, and he'll try to nail down this sweep against the Tigers. He's going to face 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Inge, Anderson, and Laird. And he'll try to pick up his 26th save, 31 hits, 3 walks, so 34 base runners in 39 innings, a whip of under 1, and 44 strikeouts. Cutter misses outside. 25 or more saves in 13 straight seasons, and that ties the Major League record set by Lee Smith from 83 to 95. The 1-0. Missed outside. 2-0. Mariano trying to nail this one down for the Yankees and nail down a victory for Jabba Chamberlain, who has been haunted by no decisions most of the season. Ground ball to Jeter. He cuts over. And the stretch by Teixeira, there's one away. Want to remind everybody that tomorrow on Yes, the Yankees continue this homestand when they kick off the first of 3 games against the Orioles. Complete coverage starts at 6 with batting practice today, presented by Audi, and then the pregame. It's the Orioles, it's the Yankees, it's tomorrow night starting at 6. It's only on Yes. And Maglio Ordonez is going to pinch hit for Josh Anderson.
Ordonez has pretty good lifetime numbers against Mariano. And that's one reason why Jim Leyland's gone to the veteran outfielder as a pinch hitter here in the 9th inning.
There's strike.
He is 7 for 13 against Mariano. Not many hitters can make that play. 538 batting average.
It's more than pretty good.
I think the difference here, though, is the fact that when Ordonez has faced him in the past, he's been more in the flow of the game. He's been a starting player. It's a little different coming off the bench after sitting down for 8 innings and been thrust into the crux of a ball game. As a
broken
pitcher.
bat, ground ball to second. Cano is right there, and the Yankees are 1 out away. Time to announce the Chevy player of the game is voted on by you, the fans, and the 3 of us here in the booth.
And the Chevy player of the game, Jabba Chamberlain. Boy, if this wasn't his best start of the year, it certainly has to be the top couple. He was dominant right from early on, had that aggressive attack, the old fist pump, 6 2/3, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts.
So Rivera against Gerald Laird as the Yankees are trying to sweep the Tigers on the first weekend after the All-Star break. And the right-hander deals. Inside 1-0.
Laird was the last batter that Mariano faced yesterday in picking up the save. Got him to pop up.
Laird 0 for 3 so far today. The 1-0. Shows bunt. Pulls back 2-0. So on a day where the Yankees celebrate their illustrious past, 39 American League championships, 26 World Series championships, arguably the greatest relief pitcher of all time, will try to make the present special by sweeping the Tigers. He's 1 out away. And there's a strike, 2-1. Rivera nailed down the save for the American League in the All-Star game on Tuesday. Had Wednesday and Thursday off. Pitched on Friday, pitched on Saturday. Pitching here today on a Sunday in New York. The 2-1. One strike away. A crowd of 46,937 here at the new Yankee Stadium. A day where they celebrated the 63rd annual Old Timers game. Most of the people that are here standing right now for the great Rivera. The veteran right-hander sets at the belt. The 2-2 just missed. And the count is full at 3-2. Edwin Jackson looking for a run.
What an eye for Laird. He's laid off a couple borderline pitches. Jeter wanting that. Jeff Nelson is tight zone right now.
And the 3-2. Game's alive as Gerald Laird works a 2-out walk against Rivera. A rare Mariano walk. Just his 4th of the year.
Check out the sequence of pitches. That one just missed. They all just missed. It's just a little outside. There's a called strike. Another one on the inside corner. This is the one that the captain thought was strike 3, and this one a little outside. He doesn't miss by much when he does.
And now the baton is passed to Ramon Santiago. Tying runs at first base. And that one is squib foul outside of third, past a lunging Alex Rodriguez. Santiago bats ninth, but he's got some power. He has 6 home runs. He is 0 for 3 today. A grounder to short, grounder back to the mound, and then a strikeout. The final batter that Java faced for the second out in the 7th inning. That was Mariano's first walk since June 12th, the walk to Laird. The 0-1. Another broken back ground ball. This should do it. Cano to Teixeira. And the Yankees win the game 2-1. And they sweep the Detroit Tigers. Mariano picks up his 508th victory. Right there you saw the Yankee offense today. Alex Rodriguez and Mark Teixeira with solo home runs. And Java